access to both internet, to mobile telephony, and to financial services. As an operator, we really see that operators has a key role to play. Obviously, we don't want to deal with customer data, especially ID data. So we see ourselves as being a partner in the enrollment for mobile operators. In a number of markets, we do that with government. So we go out and we use our sales teams to go and register for the government databases. We can also help with verification. So once customers are registered, we do the verification through our infrastructure and authentication as well as authorization. And we really see it as an enabler and being part of the ecosystem. And there's a number of use cases. Again, on our website, we have a lot of information around this. But we see this as a critical step and the first step to get access. So this is just basically a graph. This is just showing of operations that are offering mobile managed services or financial services today. There's around 500 million customers that are excluded, that could be included today because mobile money service is already available in those markets, but they don't have access to an ID, so therefore they cannot access these services today. So that's a quick win for us if we can get them IDs. Thank you very much. I'm going to leave it there. I don't know if there's any more questions. I see a couple of hands. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
The margins for those are, as you showed earlier, are quite low. So I'm thinking of the future of the business model for that, because it's similar to actually to a bank deposit. And the way banks make money is they make money actually off the float. So they have net interest margins, making money essentially on the deposit. So I'm thinking, so is that the direction of the mobile wallets in the future? Because right now they're not making money on the float, but that's a missed opportunity for that business.
What we really want to do is shift to this payments as a platform model. And, unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of time to talk about that, but it really is about looking similar to what you see in WeChat Pay and Alipay and these models, where businesses pay to get access to the customer. So we see the model shifting where customers don't pay for transactions, but companies pay to offer services to those customers. So it's really mobile operators, we hope, creating platforms that connect all of these verticals to the customer bases that they have. So offering insurance, offering payments, merchants, credit, all of these types of adjacencies on top of the payments platforms. But that means that firstly, these platforms need to be open. There needs to be APIs. There needs to be electronic onboarding to scale it as fast as possible. And I think that's where some of these players like WeChat and Alipay have done it very successfully. To onboard, to become a merchant, to become a business partner, it's very quick. And those businesses are willing to pay 1.5% to sell their products to those customers. Right? But then you have to have a base of customers, and that's why those businesses like Alipay, WeChat Pay, talking about billion customers that they're able to bring to these merchants. Right? So that's a great business opportunity. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I'd say more distribution and access to buying products like a marketplace, where people can access a variety of insurance or credit products, choose the best option that they want, or those businesses can offer discounts. This is typically where the cashbacks really work, is where those businesses are willing to offer the cashback because they want to get the customers to buy from them. It's not actually today, a lot of those cashbacks are offered by the payments provider, not the merchant itself. It's actually the payments provider to try and encourage payments are offering the cashbacks, and why those businesses are really running at a negative margin. But where businesses see the opportunity to reach 10, 20 million customers and saying, you know what, I want to get access to that 10, 20 million customers to come to my restaurant or to buy my product. So I'm willing to offer them a better deal.
Different markets of different sizes, or is that something that's limited to a market like as big as China or India?
Well, I guess that's why I say merchant payments would be, where you're looking at domestic merchant payments, but that's where you need interoperability really to work effectively, to create scale. I don't think it works in a closed loop environment where one telco provider, where I can only pay merchants that are acquired by the same. It doesn't work. We've seen it with banks, and you need to be able to have an issuer-acquirer model. And that's where merchants, again, if there's enough customer demand to pay digitally, would then say, okay, I'm willing to pay 1% or 1.5% for that transaction, like a Visa MasterCard model. But today there's not enough push from the customer. The merchant would rather pay in cash. He sees, it's cheaper for him. He doesn't see the benefit of having a digital transaction a lot of the time. So that's where the difficulty. But if we're going to unlock that, then the customer wouldn't have to pay the fee. So ideally, that's what we're trying to get away from, hopefully in the next 5 years.
Can I have one question? So the main priority of this mobile wallet is the mobile operator has in advance the big database of the customers, which is already identified mostly, and they have reached the data.
Yeah.
That's the main part.
Yeah.
So is it possible, or is there any experience in the real time? They don't do this mobile wallet function by himself, but they'll get to someone else. So let's say MasterCard or whatever, just anybody, let's say eBay people, yeah, they give that function to that second, third company. Let's imagine that that third company also serves to the operator in different countries, and they just connect them together. So what's the possibility of that, and is there any practice?
Yeah, I would say it's not a very common practice. It's almost like a white labeling, if I hear you correctly. I'd say, typically you want to retain the customer. So most providers, that's where they see the value is how do I keep that connection with the customer. So offering a third-party wallet to your customers is not really ideal. It's probably, if you don't have any alternative, I'd say that would be an option. But typically, mobile operators or any providers today want to offer their own, because that's really the only connection that you have. If you lose that connection, you have very little other alternatives to offer products and services to the customer. So getting the wallet of the customer is really what you want, and to own that wallet, I'd say. Yeah. So I think data itself is not something that we, as operators, have been really good at monetizing the data or really using the data effectively. So, yeah. Well, that's why I said today the agent network is still key and probably the biggest asset and strategic asset for the operator, is because that's difficult to replicate. But as you said, until why mobile apps is so important is once they disconnect the app from the SIM or the mobile number, then there's very little connection, and anybody can offer a wallet to a customer as long as they're licensed and running it properly through whatever the regulation is in that market. It's very easy to copy. But then it's about, again, trust. Do I trust that wallet provider? And that's just typically where telcos have a slight benefit, is because they've been around in these markets for a long time. Customers trust their brand. They trust that they will, get their money. Yeah. No, I mean, it's happening. As I say, there's already numbers of markets, and that's why in Asia today there's a lot of competition, and why the business model is not that commercially viable in a lot of markets, because of this huge amount of competition. Well, there will still be players that make that investment and scale. And like I said, it's about finding the right opportunities. Unfortunately, if there's too much regulation in markets, that also kills it. And I think to an extent, India has that problem, especially with reaching more rural, because the payments banks that are there, there were 11 licenses, there's only 3 left. And I think the challenge there was no commercial or business model for them to sustain driving that model out. So if there's no commercial incentive for players, you lack or you risk that financial inclusion aspect. I'm out of time, right?
One more question. One last. Please don't go because I have an announcement.
Hi, have you seen models where mobile money is used for crowdfunding, philanthropy, angel donations, or biodiversity conservation?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of very innovative stuff happening across many markets, and I think in Asia I've seen a lot of these types of crowdfunding models. and also in Africa there's been a couple. There's a lot of kind of CSR initiatives also, where people create wallets and encourage people to donate funding or donate money digitally to these projects. But I can't remember the names of it. There's quite a few in Asia that have successfully launched these crowdfunding models through mobile wallets, and it works really well.
All right, and with that, I think we can close the session. Before you leave, we have a hackathon. There'll be food and drinks at the multi-function hall. We'd also like to introduce to you Pepper the robot. So we are using artificial intelligence and robotics. You will see and get to meet Pepper the robot at the Hackathon Challenge. We have 3 finalists who responded to our challenge around AgriFin. So very exciting solutions providers from the startup community. We also have people coming in, young people, creative and savvy individuals who are also starting their own companies, and you can mingle and network with them. So thank you very much, Ruan. Thank you for coming and sharing your knowledge with us. Very, very excellent presentation. The program for the hackathon will start at 5 p.m., so you have time to take a toilet break.